Vanpower City Vanture. Howdy heartthrobs, out today testing a new bit of kit, my Vanpowers City Vanture e-bike. Now I know if you're a first time viewer, you're going to be saying, just another bleeding bike review. No, it's a bike review with a difference. I hate cycling. I've done multi-day bike packing trips, single-day bike packing trips, and the common denominator in all of it is they suck. So when Vanpowers got in touch with me and said, would you like to test out an e-bike? I thought yes. I saw it, it looks nice. I've been offered e-bikes before and they're sort of like Franken bikes. Not the prettiest looking thing. A couple of things that really impressed me. It weighs in at either 14.5 or 15.5 kilo. Not heavy at all for an e-bike. It's got a belt drive rather than a chain drive. So when you bounce her around, no noise, no nothing. She glides, she's smooth, 700C wheels, 26-inch frame, 5 levels of power, pedal assist even. Single speed, that could be its only downfall. It's graded to be able to climb hills of 10%, which is about a 1 in 5. I've done them today, you do know you're pedalling, but it got me up and cruises along at the 15.5 mile an hour, not an issue at all. I'm going to grab it now, grab my Gabba camera now, whip you around so you can see close up some of the things. It's still got all the stickers on it where I built it myself. That's the other thing, you build it yourself. Comes in a box the size of the wheels, put it together, two and a half hours it took me. Or you can get them to pre-assemble it for an extra, I think it's either 70 or 90 quid. All in all, a cracking e-bike. Let's have a closer look. So let's have a little look. You have your headstock. And on your headstock you've got your mounted computer, gives you your battery, distance travelled, speed you're going, and what mode you're in for pedal assist. Really nice, really sleek. My one did come with a separate torch from a manufacturer. It's also got a hill climb assist. If you push down on the down arrow, if you're walking uphill, you can just walk away and it will follow you. Rigid forks with Tektro brakes, hydraulic brakes. It's a 26-inch frame with 700C wheels. Got a nice little kickstand at the back. As you can see there, it's got a 36 volt 250 watt motor, which as of EU regulations will do 15.5 miles an hour. You also have there the Gates carbon belt drive system, which is awesome. As we look around, the thing that is really different with it is you put it together yourself with a mortise and tenon joint system, which took me 2 hours 20 minutes to complete. There's your little charger there. It takes 2 hours, 2.5 hours to charge, and everything is internally routed. As you can see, she is a sexy looking little number, and at first glance, what I really like about it, you would not be able to tell that she's an e-bike. Old classic styling, they come in a range of colours. I like that with the springs and the brown leather. All in all, I've been proper impressed with her. As I say, I'm 8 miles in this trip. Normally, I would be griping, but I'm not griping this time, purely because she's actually been a joy to ride. I'm only a fraction of the way in of my journey. It says it's got a range of 50 miles, which I'm guessing is about 30 miles real world usage. You can get an extra battery here, which bumps it up to 80 miles, which I'm guessing is about 50 miles. Yeah, 2.5 hours to charge. I've got, give or take, a 30-mile trip I'm doing today, just to see if the battery lasts. All in all, at the moment I'm happy. I am happy. She is a little bit cramped. She's built for people from 5'8" to 6'3". I'm 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. I fit. I could do with raising the seat a little, which I may do in a moment. She pulls you along. What else is there to tell you? Told you the weight, told you the drive system, which is a sexy little number, comes in all different sorts of things. There's going to be a link down below. Now, be warned, I do get commission on any of these sold, so please do your research. Bear in mind, I got given this bike, I didn't pay for it. The reason I chose it is I like the looks. If you saw this on the street, it does not look like an e-bike, so therefore you're going to have less chance of it being nicked. The classic styling is brilliant. They come in a range of colours. The only thing if I was to be critical of, which I will show you now, the clearance you got with the tyres means that you could possibly get wider tyres in, but nothing deeper. That would make the ride better. Also, fitting stuff like mud guards and stuff could be an issue, as well as racks and bottle cages and things like that. There are no mounts to put your bottle cages, so you'd have to get aftermarket ones. I don't know how they fit. A rack out the back, because all of these come separate. Again, I know that Vanpowers sell them, so you're probably better off getting it direct from Vanpowers than an aftermarket thing. They also do a range of other bikes. I've got one of these pretty much the same, but it's fixed completely. You don't need to build it. A commuter style, which is a little bit cheaper. They do a fat bike, and one called a Sane, which is a cruiser or some sort. I do like the look of the fat bike. So yeah, here it is. I'm going to crack on now and get on with the rest of my cycle, because I've got another 22 miles to go. But so far, I'm enjoying it. My legs did feel the burn going up the hill. It's good to get exercise. Single speed, starting off, if you're starting on a hill, is going to be a bit of a chore. But as you can see, let's just turn her on. I'll crank that up. It kicks in within quarter of a turn, half a turn of the pedal. So it's not that big a deal. If you hit the hill at speed, you're laughing. This is a great little setup. Right in front of you, you know what you're doing. Yeah, all in all, I'm proper happy with her. Enough of my jibber jabber, not trying to flog her to you. She is a like commuter type bike. Obviously not any good for backpacking and stuff like that. You could get away with it, but you need bigger wheels. For what she is, a city bike, road bike, I'm proper impressed, proper impressed. But let's see how I feel at the end of the 30 miles, if the battery's still alive, if my legs are still alive, and if I haven't killed anyone en route. Because again, cycling ain't my friend. Enough of that jibber jabber, let's get back on the road. Right, so again, starting off, no pedal assist, and I'm up to 15.5 miles an hour, really easy on it, she glides. I'm coming up now to my first hill. As I say, she's graded to a 10% hill, which is about a 1 in 5, which give or take is what this is. So I'm going to hit the hill moving and then work through the settings as need to, because at 23 miles an hour with no pedal assist, my legs are beating eggs a bit. Really smooth, really quiet. I'm liking this belt drive. Right, starting to get a bit of an effort there. So, because I'm over the speed already, the engine isn't kicking in yet. So I've put her on setting 3, and now I'm just getting into the hill proper. Yes, this is me doing all the pedalling until I drop below, and there, she's kicked in. I'm going to crank that up to power assist 4 and 5. Okay, I'm climbing the hill. I'm probably putting in about 70% of the work. 12.5 miles an hour. Hopefully you can see the steepness of this hill, but for a single speed she's getting up it all right. I wouldn't like to do the mountain stages of the Tour de France, Actually got me up here okay. Now it's levelling out. Pedalling's becoming easier. Lovely job. When I get down to a straight, I will cycle through the Power and show you what she's like on different settings. So then, we're on a slight incline here. No pedal assist, 12.5 miles an hour. Pop it up to eco number 1. Can't feel any difference, I'm guessing, because that only takes you up to about 10 miles an hour before it cuts off. Eco number 2. Just felt that engine kicking now. Legs are nice and, yeah, 12 miles an hour, working a treat. Number 3. That's picked up 14 miles an hour. Number 4, still with a slight incline. Boom. Basically turning the pedals. 14.5. On to number 5. Yeah, just going through the motions of it. 15.5. So the drivetrain works as it should, and there are your parameters. With no pedal assist, hill starting would be a bit of a problem. I mean, I'm doing 21 miles an hour now with no pedal assist, and my legs are going round a bit too quick, but easily done. The major drawback, it isn't a drawback, you buy it for what it is the hills with this. And what I do like about it is the fact you're actually getting exercise. A lot of these e-bikes, although over in the UK don't have throttles, are pretty much, you know, as long as that crank's turning, you're not having to put in any effort whatsoever. So I'm on a bit of flat now, a little bit of an incline coming up, 16 miles an hour, power assist mode 3, easy as you like. I am 5 miles into my journey currently, and even with those hills, I'm not struggling. It is a little bit of a hunched over position, as I said. It's a commuter stroke road bike. The seat, it's a bike seat. They violate everyone. It's not the worst one I've seen. And if my kids are watching, stop arch. Boom. Yeah, I've yet to come across a comfy bike seat. It says it's usable for people from 5'8" to 6'3". I'm 5'9", 5'10" on a good day. It's okay for me, I could raise the seat a little from where I am. But I could see it being a bit cramped for anyone much taller than me. All personal choice though, isn't it? It's definitely no hardship riding it. And honestly, you can't hear the engine, motor, whatever you're meant to call them. And that belt drive, I'm sold. It's good. Motor kicks in, give or take a 1/4 turn of the crank, and you're golden. When I'm just about to start a climb again now. Power number 3. Oh, Jesus Christ. Island roads. And there you go. Just hit 15 miles an hour, come down to 15 miles an hour, and the motor's kicked in. Bring me back to a nice steady pace. Right, I've got another 3-4 miles of road work, and then I'll start hitting trails. So I'll bring you back then. So here we go. We're on a bit of a cycle track now, slightly rougher. Wheels are coping fine. You are getting a bit of vibration through your bars and stuff, but nothing not to be expected. Don't know if you could fit aftermarket shocks on the front, but as I say, a seat post will do you wonders in itself. Really no issue, sitting here, power level 2, cruising 11.5 miles an hour, minimal effort put in. On the flats this bike comes into its own, on the roads it's brilliant. Really can't complain. Anything exciting happens, I will bring thee back. Yeah, so one thing I did forget to mention, the headstock, the trip computer is rated as an IP66. Don't know what that means. It means it's got some level of waterproofness. As you can hear, this fat lad ain't gassing out. 12 miles an hour down a bumpy cycle track. Living the dream. Thank you. Now, I'm going to have a gripe, and it's got nothing to do with the bike. As I said to start, this comes with, in the UK, a 250 watt motor, limited to 15.5 miles an hour. Because, you know, 15.5 miles an hour isn't just a rudimentary random number to pick out thin air. Now, if the idea is to get people cycling into work, I could quite easily cycle into work 10 mile there, 10 mile back on this, not a problem. After riding it now just shy of 10 mile, not a problem at all. But time wise, if I was to average 10 mile an hour, that's an hour driving into work. If the UK upped the power just a little bit to say 25-30 mile an hour, you know, people are going to average 20 mile going into work, getting in there for half an hour. Even make it so people have to wear crash helmets, don't mind that. But to say anything over a 250 watt motor, you've got to be taxed, insured, MOT'd and have a bleeding bike licence is ridiculous. Sort yourself out, government. You know, they say you can't ride electric scooters unless you rent them. Because, you know, renting them makes a difference. Yeah, the rules and regs surrounding them are just ludicrous. Sort yourselves out. 30 mile an hour, how many people out there would use an e-bike, a little electric scooter or something to get to work if you weren't being held up? Limiting to 15 mile an hour when you can cycle over 30 mile an hour, it's just bleeding lunacy. Same as not being allowed a thumb throttle. Rant over. Probably be ranting again in a bit when my bum starts hurting. Let's go! So as you can see, this isn't the smoothest track. These sort of tyres are prone to punctures because they are road tyres, but this really isn't a problem. I know this isn't what it's meant for, but these are the cycle tracks we have on this island, so I'm using them. Oh, it's that one. That was a pothole. Yeah, impressed. Suspension seat post would sort you right out. It would be good to see if Vanpowers can start knocking up other bikes as well of the same, you know, belt drive's good, just thicker tyres and bit of suspension. Everyone's a winner, baby, that's no lie. 13, nearly 14 mile an hour, 2 or 3, still showing full battery after 10 miles. Let's see if it can make it to 30. So I've just lost my first battery bar after 11 miles. 30 miles definitely looks doable. We'll see. Thank you. Morning. You're going to have to forgive me shooting from this angle. My GoPro keeps dying because it's cold, which is a good test really, because if it's cold for the GoPro battery, is cold for the bike battery. Now, I don't know if I'm pedaling on with no help, if it's got regenerative whatever. It does feel like there's a resistance once you get up to the speed as per the pedal assist, and I don't know if that recharges a bit in the battery, but I just parked a little. Oh, wrong way. Sorry, I didn't park, that's a lie. I just started cycling with no pedal assist, and the battery bar jumped up for a bit when I turned it back on. So who knows? Have a read and find out. All in all, lovely ride so far. Anyone that watches my channel and sees me dressed up in lycra and Dayglow derrick material, feel free to kick me in the sweets. Alright, again, GoPro died on me. GoPro 10 does not like the cold. As I was saying, with her being a light bike and a short bike, she's really nimble. Brakes work a treat and they're not even bedded in yet. All in all, I am mightily impressed with this little beast. If they done a version that was more off-road capable, they do a version. It's the fat tyre bike, Vanpowers. If you want me to test that out, let me know. Yeah, all right, a couple of tweaks here and there, and this would be blinding. Let's see how many people look. Morning. Morning, 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 morning. No one. Brakes work. Right, we're down to half battery, just 18 and a bit miles in, and this is quite a big steep hill, so let's see how much effort I'm putting in. Quite a lot, to be fair, but it's doable considering it's a single speed. It's not too bad. 10 mile an hour, 10.5 mile an hour. Getting to the top and the boost takes over again. Let's see if I can pick some speed up. There's the secondary hill coming up. I mean, this thing is so quiet, so smooth. The pickup is instant when you pedal because of that belt drive, but you do miss the gears when it comes to hills, as you can hear by my breathing. But it's carrying me up them, so I can't complain. I can complain, and I will complain, because I hate cycling, but I've nearly covered 20 miles, which normally would have me swearing by now. And as you've noticed, I've yet to swear. I know you're thinking, Nobby, what's going on? I could be an e-bike convert, which really says that I'm just really unfit. Right, let's go down towards Bembridge. I really want to hit 30 miles on this thing, just to test the battery. Because, you know, it's pointless me giving it a review if I'm not testing it out. Come on, get up there. There we go. Right, taking this opportunity, not because I have to, but just because I want to test it. I'm going to test the walk assist. So I'm at the bottom of a big hill, go down, click, 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 press and hold, and the bike starts moving. Let go and it stops. So, if ever you get stuck going up a big hill and you don't want to push, bike starts moving on its own. So, we're at the 28 mile mark now. Got about a mile till I'm back home. And comfort wise, all I can say is, oh, me bum. But, rest of it, I'll tell you from me garden. So my final thoughts. On the whole, been really impressed with it. I've done 29.4 miles in one hit today. I did notice when it went down to one battery bar coming up that last hill, I was putting in a lot more effort than I was, but the battery lasted for the 30 miles ish that I thought it was going to. It's a little bit hunched over, but it is a city type bike, it's a commuter type bike. Could do with bigger wheels, but it glides, yeah, really quiet when it's riding. I love that belt drive. It does mean though, it suffers on the hills not having the gears. It's a stunning looking bike. The finish, I mean, you wouldn't even be able to tell there were welds here, to be honest with you. It's a real good bit of kit. And one of the most amazing things is that it didn't fall apart, considering I built it myself and I am a ham-fisted spadoofer. Brakes, absolutely brilliant. I love the headstock computer. My bum does hurt, but there's never been a cycling seat that is comfortable. I think you'll agree. She looks nice. She doesn't look like an e-bike, which is very good if you're worried about people pinching your stuff. All in all, very good. I think they're retailing currently at about 1,500 quid. I don't know if I'm going to get a discount code. There'll be a link down below. If you buy through the link, they chuck me a bit of dough. You know, letting you know, want to know about the channel and you want an e-bike, that's the way to do it. It is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, all in all, properly impressed. Vanpowers City Vanture gets a thumbs up from me. It's a shame they don't do a version with luggage racks and stuff like that of this style bike. The fat tyre bike has obviously got all sorts of gubbins. It's got 8 gears or something, I think. Have a look on their website, click the link below and have a look. So that will have a lot. It'll also be a lot heavier. Don't know how long the battery life will last, and it looks like an e-bike, whereas this, the classic styling, I love. All in all, I'm happy. Are you happy? I've just cycled 30 miles and I'm not crying. It obviously works. Until next time, ta-ra.